Hello, what's going on, everybody? Emo Tempest here, and today we got another deck profile. Decided to share with you my warrior deck, I guess you will. Tyvus has been fantastic this meta. We saw him in Magissa, we just saw him in like Twins, and we've seen him all over the place. I'm more of a traditional guy, so I decided to build like a mono warrior deck, if you will. I know there's a lot of there's a couple things that aren't warriors here, but I was trying to stick to as close to the theme as I could, obviously, and this is where I landed. The biggest thing that I found was that Tyvus is just a beast. So he's obviously the main thing from Opus 21 that we saw that has just tons of value, right? For free, you can play a warrior of cost 3 or less. We have a lot of new targets, some old targets that are just really great, and just a lot of potential here. I know a lot of the competitive scene has seen this card and plays into it, so it's a very strong card, a very great meta call. But yeah, the deck's pretty straightforward. You have two aggressive avenues you can take. I'll talk to you about those. It's Tyvos and Warrior of Light, obviously, which is the other big powerhouse from this set. And then we have a few interesting choices, card choices that I kind of want to talk about to help you guys understand what's how to play it through this deck and all. Not much else I can talk about extra wise. The flex picks are rather limited here. So I'll leave that up to you, but we'll talk about that as well. And yeah, let's get started with the deck. So first off, obviously, we're going to go in reverse forward order. So we have Warrior of Light, 3 of. You have 28, I believe, 3 drops here. All that net you some kind of value, right? And that's the biggest thing you want. It's not like the Hancock's version where everyone does some crazy effects and you have some other interesting combos, but there is value to be had here with these guys. So the main ones you're gonna want to talk about are Mog to draw you a card, Arciela to kind of hold into threatening cards, Tulian to kind of force your opponent to block, Exarray, which is an interesting one, draws you 2 cards, and then at damage 5 he'll draw you 3 cards. The other, obviously, Paladin, Edgar, and Joseph, or Moody, which search something else or draw a card or play something for you. Those are your big targets. Obviously, Axstar is okay if we're, want to duel and free stuff, but it's not our optimal line. But it all has some decent value, right? Tyvos, obviously, we talked about that already. 2 Squall. The main reason for Squall is sometimes you kind of need that extra damage, and I just love what the Tulian Squall combo. Just force someone to block. Tulian is free. He's the only Earth drop in this deck because we can play him for free, both from the Warrior of Light or Tyvos. And right then and there, it's just a matter of how abusive we can be with him. The Squall combo is also just a little bit later on if the game drags on and you're not able to just clutch victory early on. We have 3 Warrior to kind of help protect the Tyvos. Also from Opus 21, nice comment that just says, nah, he can't be broken until the end of the turn, which is nice. We have Ward, which is a 3/8, deals 7k. The damage is negligible sometimes, but it's also everything sometimes, right? It's that 7k has been the more broken some of our cards get, the weaker their stats are, and so 7k has been enough sometimes to kind of facilitate that. Obviously, if you don't have the the power to kill everything, you can attack with Squall and drop a ward. Same thing with Arciela. If 7k is not enough, you have the ward drop to finish it for 14, or the Squall attack to close out the rest of the damage. The Axstar here, just very solid line that we've seen time and time again playing off Tyvus. As always, just remember you kind of, if you're going to use Axstar, always remember to attack with Tyvus before you do it, if they let you. That way the attack will go through, Axstar will come in, ideally kill something or duel and free something before the block, and then that way it's okay that Tyvus or Warrior of Light sit down for 2 turns, because it does feel bad when they can't, they just sit there and you're kind of trying to close out a game. Yeah, pretty straightforward. You have enough 3 drops, like I said, to kind of help him out. You are able to play the Arciela, Ward, and Warrior and the Yuzuki out of this, so just something to keep in mind. We are playing 2 Mog 6. Mog 6 was such a great card that we saw. I mean, there wasn't that many options like when we looked at Tyvos for Warriors, but Mog 6 definitely stood out to all of us. I like this card a few sets when he came out, and I try to fit him into my L3 deck or L6 deck, I forget. And then, yeah, it's great when you get it off. The searching thing is also very fun for the Magissa matchup or the Griever. So search isn't just to add to your hand, it'll cancel out the search and play abilities. So it is very good in that sense. And so it does help, slow down those matchups for you, or at least get away with some stuff. My only regret of this card is that we can't do it in response to an EX Burst, right? And that's obviously game mechanics, but, if we hit a Tyro, then you just want to go, nah, bro, sorry. So, I mean, I've been known to attack with him first. If it's not an EX Burst, we'll hit him when we attack with the other three and hope he doesn't get one. So, the Yuzuki, pretty self-explanatory, just here to protect your guys. I'm really glad this card is seeing a lot more play now. I've always been a big fan of it. This one in Celestia, I believe its name is. And then just Furion, obviously a good solid dual color card, fits right in. Warrior is easily searched and then just draws us cards. Helps us get through it. Between this and Arceala, we do see a lot more draw power than... it's a good way for us to recover, right? After we go, do the aggressive thing. So, the backups as well. 3 Larsa, you gotta find the Tyvos and the Warrior of Light turn 1 or turn 2. It has to come out in those turns or you're kind of already behind. The deck kind of slows, it struggles at that unless you're able to get 2-3 backups on turn 2, and then at the latest you play Tyvos or Wool on turn 3. And so we can't add more Larsas, so I try to find another way to get my hands on both of these. One card that answers both of these problems, and that is that is Ezel. Ezel was an interesting card choice. I did have this at 3 3 at some point, but we kind of brought it down because we normally, between the Larsas and the two sets of Tyvos and Warrior Light, we're at 9 cards. He makes it a solid 10, so there's a good 20% chance there that we get one of these cards to start us off. And so Ezel is, you may search for a forward of the same cost of the total cost discarded cards, right? So we have 2s and 3s, nothing, so it gets us 5. We have 4s and 3s, which gets us 7. And that's simple math, quick maths. At the very worst, we have 4s and 3s, like the Squalls and stuff. If we needed to, we could, find a way to get there anyway. But the short answer is that a quick math will get us to either Warrior of Light or Tyvos, and that's why we like them. Again, I had them at a higher number for some point, but we were able to bring them down once we kind of figured out some of the numbers here. Sarah, just to fix the backups quick, we're only playing 1 because I wanted to keep more space for forwards. Paladin, same thing, just gets you a card when you flip it. Edgar to play the 2 costs. Probably a little less important, but still good search for color fixing. Joseph to get the Furion. Moody for your Amats. Lana for those EX bursts. And the last card I'm going to talk about is the Red 13. So the other combo that this deck does or whatever is play this Red 13. So when it enters, you may pay fire. If you do so, play a forward from your hand onto the field. If it leaves the field for any reason, remove it from the game instead. At the end of the turn, remove it from the game. So Tyvos can now effectively play Warrior Light. So you'll Tyvos into this, pay the fire, play the Wool, reveal, get your value. That's the main reason this deck has been working. It's because we were able to play that so much easier. And so it's just an extra added layer of faster aggression. And then all in all, if you're doing this on a turn where Axar needs to attack and he has 3 forward, he needs to put more damage on. That helps. Same thing if on this turn you need to make sure you guys can't be targeted. If you have an extra wool in hand, you have 2 wools in hand, you can play one out and then keep an S open for yourself. And that's the combo, right? And so being able to play both of those is why this deck works. Yeah, guys, that's pretty straightforward. The flex picks, like I said, definitely the Squall, definitely the X-Ray, and if you don't like the combo, you can definitely cut the X13s. and work around with the backup numbers. Same thing with the Ezel. If you don't like it, if you play it and you do like it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It feels great when you just like you didn't see the other cards, but you saw exactly what you needed to play this card, and it works. But outside of that, there's not much room. I was playing the old warrior that like did something when he enters, like he taps your backups, deals 3K, and that was good in a mid-range version, but not in an aggressive version. So we cut him out. Um, yeah, I think the only thing I would like to try to work into is more summons. Um, it's just something we need a little more out of protection, maybe some more EX burst and things like that. But it's pretty straightforward. Again, it's more of a traditional deck with some interesting combos. Um, I managed to get away with a couple games against a couple random things. Um, so take it what you will. Take this deck with a grain of salt. I just want to share with you the list mainly because of the combos and the way the deck building worked. And so I hope it helps. Please, as always, leave your comments and your comments, I guess, and anything you want to share with me on the deck in the description below. Don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel a lot, and share it in your discords or whatever. Yeah, guys, I hope you've been enjoying all the videos. I will see you next time.